So good evening to everyone. We welcome you all to this one-day webinar, international webinar on Jamovi made simple. So we have certain myth about Jamovi. So in order to remove all those myths, we have a free webinar followed by a workshop from the month of April. So let us welcome Dr. Paraksha, Associate Professor, HL College, uh, Ahmedabad. And let us welcome Dr. Chaudhary sir, Associate Professor of Ahmedabad. Welcome you all, sir. Welcome. We welcome all the participants to this program. We hope this webinar finds all answers for your questions. Thank you, one and all. I welcome Dr. Paraksha. Paraksha sir is an associate professor, as mentioned before. Sir has academic experience of more than 22 years. I'm currently an associate professor of statistics at HL College, Ahmedabad. He has acquired analytical skills through courses from renowned institutes like CMC Vellore, IIT Kharagpur, IIT Hyderabad, Duke University, USA, IBM. Sir is author of more than 15 books, some of which in Tata McGraw. In editorial board of number of research journals, has more than 25 research articles in his name published in national and international journals, invited as speaker, resource person in many renowned institutions of national and international repute. He also provides analytical consulting service to various industries, sharing his statistics expertise by special lectures for CA, CMA, MBA, ACCA students and students of other professional courses. I welcome you, sir, for this session. The session is yours. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Shailila ma'am. I think, first of all, let me compliment you for taking this pain of arranging such kind of programs where the myths of the society, myths of the researcher, myths of the faculties have been removed and they can get what they want at almost, I would say, a free of charge kind of softwares. That is a great headache that you have taken of organizing such kind of international programs. So, really, compliments goes to you.
Thank you,
Okay.
sir.
Yeah. And compliments to all the participants for joining this because many of you might be hearing this Jamovi for the first time. So let us show you for this 1 hour or so how Jamovi is a software or a tool, or I would say manu-driven software which will help you for all kind of data analysis, right from basics to the advanced level of it. Okay. So first, let me jump into some of the facts and figures which are prevalent right now into the market. So this data I'm trying to convey, showing you the amount of data that has been generated worldwide. In 2022, according 2020 rather, according to the IBM report, it is said that the world created 2.5 quintillion bytes of data. That is 2.5 followed by 18 zeros. That much amount of data has been generated. According to McKinsey and Company, it is reported that they predicted that it would be 175 zettabytes of data will be generated by 2025. So again, a huge amount of data that has been predicted that will be generated worldwide. IDC, International Data Corporation, forecasted that in 2022, it forecasted in 2022 that the global data sphere would reach around 180 zettabyte by 2025. And right now we are moving towards that direction only. So the prediction of IDC will be probably surpassed in the next 1 year or so. So what I'm trying to convey, data is generated in huge numbers worldwide. And why so much of data is generated? Because one, there is a lot of research going on worldwide. So laboratory data has been generated. That is one aspect. Second, because of the social media. social media, like it can be Facebook, it can be Instagram, and all other social medias. Whatever we whatever we upload, whatever we write, that becomes the data. You can see huge amount of data, and individuals are now using social media as a platform, and so huge amount of data is generated every second. And third and the most important part, it is generated by industry. And why it is generated by industry? Because of Internet of Things, IoT or IIoT per second, because of the sensors that we are using it in the industry, which are connected to internet. Huge amount of data is generated per second. Data of temperature, data of pressure, data of volume, and all that. So worldwide now, the data is generated in huge numbers. So now it is said that up till now, many of us had an impression that only numbers is the data. But in today's world, text is also a data, image is also a data. This is the satellite image. Audio is also a data, and video is also data. You can understand the variety of data that has been generated. This is Facebook Live. Now this session is on Facebook Live. That becomes a data. So whatever we speak is also a data. That becomes an audio. Whatever we write becomes a data. Whatever pictures we upload, that becomes a data. Whatever reels we upload in Instagram, this data can be numbers, text, it can be image, it can be audio, it can be video, and it can be even emojis. Adding to the latest social media trends, emojis are also data. And that is why data is considered to be the new oil. The famous publication economists have asserted that it is a data and not the oil that is now considered to be the most valuable asset in the world. There is no more the oil. And that is why, if you observe, the Gulf countries are moving towards other economics than oil. Famous publication, okay, they are moving towards other economics, like it can be the real estate, it can be the trade businesses, it can be the tourism and all, because now they know that oil is no longer the most valuable asset or resource in the world. Some industry experts says now the world is moving towards data economy. The countries, the world, the individuals, the companies, whoever is sitting on the ample amount of data, they are have minting money like anything. Take an example of Google. Take an example of Facebook. They all are minting money. They are providing the services free, but they are minting money because of the data that we all, by using free Google and by using free Instagram or Facebook or WhatsApp, we are generating huge amount of data, which is generating huge amount of income for this company. But as oil itself, by extracting oil, that crude oil itself has no value, that you all know. Crude oil itself has no value. It needs to be refined. Okay, it needs to be refined. Same way, raw data itself has no value. It needs to be analyzed. It needs to be refined. If you refine that data, then only it will be a very useful decision making tool. Then only it can provide insightful information. Then only it is a useful raw material for us. And to analyze the data, we need software. We need software. That days are gone where we were doing it on calculators. Okay. Now that days are gone, because we need a very complex and advanced level of, I would say, data analysis, statistical data analysis, machine learning, and all. So some of the data analysis software, some of them, programming, I would bifurcate into two. One is programming and another is manual driven. Programming, we have R, Python, SAS, and so on. Manual driven, that is Excel, SPSS, Jamovi, MATLAB, and again, there are numbers of players for manual driven and same way for programming. But I have shortlisted only the tools or the softwares which are used maximum. So these are some of the software for programming as a programming language. These are some as a manual driven. Now, why this webinar Saila ma'am has arranged? Because one, I would say majority are not aware of a software that is called Jamovi. One. Second, those who are aware, they are confused between use of SPSS or whether to use Jamovi. Mainly because Jamovi is a SPSS is also one of the famous menu-driven software which is now been taken over by IBM. It is a good menu-driven software. So people, researchers, industry experts, students, teachers, we get confused at which software we should use. So purpose of arranging this webinar was to clarify, okay, to clarify what is the basic difference between these two software, SPSS and Jamovi. Then you take a call which software should be taken forward for your own research or for the industry application or for teaching someone else and so on. So that is the reason that this program to create an awareness about Jamovi, because Jamovi is comparatively a recent software. Not all are aware. Okay, so that was the purpose of arranging this webinar, a short webinar of 1 hour or so that we can guide you, we can create a picture, real picture before you. Then you can take a data-driven decision. You can take your own call, which is better for you, which is not better for you, and you can take it forward. Okay. By the way, we all, Sailila ma'am, Raju sir, and we, that at I, rather, we provide training for all. We provide training for R, Python, SAS, Excel, SPSS, Jamovi. But still, this particular program, we will be highlighting it. What is the basic difference between SPSS and Jamovi? And so you'll be able to understand what should be the next software that you should take it forward. Okay, so this is, I would say, a T20 match between Jamovi and SPSS. A short version of comparison between Jamovi and SPSS. Let me first start with the user interface. Many of you might have used SPSS. Some of you might have used Jamovi also. So first is how it looks like. That is the UI, user interface. How convenient it is for us. Whether SPSS is better or Jamovi is better. Which is comfortable for us. If I start with Jamovi, Jamovi offers a modern, intuitive, and user-friendly interface. Because ultimately, it is a touch and the feel that we get it. How convenient it is for us. So the outlook of Jamovi as an UI, it is very modern, intuitive, and user-friendly. The interface features a spreadsheet-like data editor where users can easily import, view, and manipulate that data very easily. In the second half of this webinar, Raju sir will actually give you the feel how Jamovi looks like, how easy it is, how you can import the data, how you can utilize your basics of analysis, and how advanced also you can utilize. That will be in the second half of this webinar. So this all, just remember and try to recollect whatever I'm saying it, that it is modern, intuitive, user friendly. When Raju sir will show you, you'll be able to relate that. Analysis options are presented in a sidebar menu, allowing users to select the desired statistical procedure with just few clicks. That is what Jamovi offers as a UI. While in SPSS, I would say, is almost the same. It also provides user-friendly interface, but the only slight negative aspect of SPSS is it is not so modern as Jamovi is. It is more of, I would say, a little bit harsh word, but it's a little bit outdated compared to the modern UI that we all are now using it in different tools. Sorry. Secondly, navigating in SPSS typically involves menu and dialog box. So it requires more number of steps to perform a particular analysis compared to that of Java. So this is one way to compare. The aspect is user interface. So first slide was just to show you how Jamovi and SPSS is different in reference to UI. So if I make a bottom line, modern and intuitive. Here it is user friendly, but it is more outdated compared to that of, it is not having a rather, I would not use the word outdated to make things simple for you. It is not as modern as Jamo. Secondly, the steps required to go to the desired level of analysis, desired technique of analysis, more steps are required compared to that of Jamo. Okay, this is the first way to compare both. Second, point and click analysis. Now, actually, both are point and click. Jamovi offers a point and click interface for performing statistical analysis, making it easy for users to access and apply various analytical tools. So that's again, it is you have to find out and just you have to click. That is point and click. User can simply select a desired analysis from the menu, specify the variable, and interpret the results displayed in the output window. So you will be having an output window along with the data set. It will show you which desired analysis you want. If you click on this, you will get a new window, or I would say the parallel window where output will be shown to you. So that is Jamo. SPSS also is point and click interface. Okay, it allowing users to assess statistical procedure through menus and dialog box. It is the same. But now the changes. However, the navigation in SPSS may feel slightly more cumbersome compared to Jamovi due to the layout and organization of menu and options. So the only difference between these two is SPSS is slightly more number of steps are required. You have to switch over to the input and output. That is second. And so it becomes little bit cumbersome, tiresome compared to that of Jamovi. Otherwise, they both are same in this aspect. Real-time result. Now, this is a unique feature of Jamovi. Jamovi provides real-time updates in the output window as the user makes changes to their analysis or data settings. The moment you change one of the figures in your data, one of the numbers in your data, immediately you don't have to rerun it, like which we have to do it in SPSS. We don't have to rerun it. Automatically, the change will be reflected in the output window. That is the beauty of Jamo. So this features allows us users to interactively explore their data and quickly assess the impact of different analysis options on the result. It is very fast. So when means interactively, you have a data, you have an output. When you make a change over here, immediately the output will change. When again you make a change over here, the output will change. So you can have an interactive way, how the change in the data is affecting the output. While in SPSS, no doubt it provides real-time analysis, but users may need to navigate through multiple dialog boxes to view and interpret the results, which can slow down the analysis process. Because once you change the data, you'll have to again rerun that particular statistical technique to get a new output, which is not a case in Jam. Okay, so this is a major plus and this is a major negative aspect for SPS. Availability of resources. Availability of resources, when I say this is, and there is an active and growing community of Jamovi users and developers. So there is a community. This is a community designed, developed software. And this is a privately owned or company owned software. So that is why more and more people are developing the different aspects of Jamovi, different modules of Jamovi, who are contributing on regular basis. So there is a huge community worldwide, those who are using and developing the different modules as per the need arises in the researchers or in the industry. And so they provide support through forums, tutorials, and online resources. And you can access all of this free.
ભાઈ ફરી કરું હમણાં કલાક પછી હવે ઓનલાઈન વર્કશોપ ચાલુ છે.
You can access all of this free. While in the case of SPSS, it is providing support infrastructure, including extensive documentation, tutorials, and user forums. It also provides this. But it is only and only restricted for users who are having a valid license. Those who have a valid license of this software, they can access all these resources. While here, it is free for all. Everyone can access. And that documentation, that videos, that tutorials is going on increasing. Okay? So it is just like a crowdfunding where more and more people are involved in it and they are giving benefits to the larger community. Here, it is company owned. So only the developers of the company are developing a new tool or a new technique or the new features of the software. So that numbers are limited. So again, this is a huge plus and this is a huge negative point for experts. Advanced techniques, I would say both are equal. Jamovi and SPSS both can provide advanced statistical tools, techniques, and all. But advantage with Jamovi is first you can start with your basic data analysis. As and when required, you can go on adding the modules. Suppose you want to go for text analytics, there is a different module which you can easily add to your user interface. Suppose you want survival analysis, again you can add that module and you can utilize in your user interface, and so on. Numbers, suppose you want a proper graph for it, very attractive graph, there is again a ggplot kind of module which you can incorporate and you can utilize it. So specifically as per your need, as per your domain, as per your application, you can go on adding the module and make it more optimized. So Jamovi is normally, when you download, it will be a basic Jamovi. Now as you require it, go on adding the module so that it doesn't gives you so much of tools which confuse you. It is simply just like giving you a plate, okay, a food plate with the basic items that you need for eating. Then, as and when you want a new type of food to be added, maybe a sweet, maybe something spicy and all, you can always order and you can add on. But SPSS provides a I would say a platter which is full. It gives you everything. And that may create a confusion because lot of things has been provided. Okay, lot of things has been provided, and so the confusion increases. Lesser is better. It is just like thing. Okay, here Jamovi gives you specifically what you require initially, and then go on adding the advanced techniques as and when it is required, as and when the application comes for your research, for your industry, and go on adding that to. And one more thing, as I said, it is a community backed software. More and more kind of modules are being added regular basis, which is not a feature of SPS. Community support and documentation, as we have already talked about, so I'm not going into that detail. The most important part, the most important differentiator between Jamovi and SPSS is the cost. You all will be amazed, you all will be surprised, and you all will be happy that Jamovi is a free open source software. It is a free. So it is an open source software which is available free for all, making it accessible to students, researcher, educator, industrialists, and everyone. No licenses is required. No updation is required. Regular basis, as and when required, you can add a module and you can start using it. While SPSS is a commercial software, you need to purchase a license, and that cost of license depends on the number of users, the number of techniques that you want, okay, number of techniques that you want to add on, and so on. The more techniques that you go on adding it out, the cost will go on increasing. You just understand, you are getting a better user interface, you are getting all the advanced techniques that you require, you are getting the support of the community. It is very interactive, and above all, okay, icing on the cake, it is free. While here, as it is a commercial software, the cost is high. Pirated versions, many, I would should not say in this platform, but many are using the pirated version, but it is never ever advisable. Because whenever you go for research, your research paper, if you are using SPSS, you need to have a licensed version for it. If you are an educator, education institute, or an industry, you need a licensed version for it. Then only your analysis, your output will be, I would say, usable. I'll give you one interesting fact. In pharma domain, some of you might be in the pharma domain, or in the banking domain, there was a software like SAS. Software SAS. It is not SAAS, so don't mistake that. It is SAS. It is a programming software where data analysis, statistical data analysis is used. Up till now, US FDA and all the authorities were only allowing the analysis done by SAS, and the analysis or the reports generated through SAS were only allowed by the authorities for banking also and for pharma. But since last 5-7 years, they have realized that the small pharma companies, small banks, they are not able to afford the very costly SaaS software. And so R, and again an open source programming software, has been considered as a replacement in some of the scenarios by the authorities. So now the world is moving towards the open source scenario. Even Python, if you see, it's an open source. If I give you the cost, these are actually taken from the site of SPSS. If you take the base edition, where you can get core statistical capabilities, it comes to around 3830 USD per user. If you take the standard, where a base plus additional features like regression forecasting, it comes to 8440. If you add something more like neural network and not, it comes to 16,900. If you gain more, then again it is 25,200 per user per annum. These are the cost of SPSS, and I have taken it from this. While Jamovi, so now you take a call, you take a feel, because now Raju sir will take you to the journey of the touch and feel of Jamovi, and then you decide which tool you can take it forward, because very soon, okay, very soon Sailila ma'am is going to arrange a training program on analysis using Jamovi. You take a call. If you find this is very interesting, this workshop, this training program for is you all. And we know Sailila ma'am since long. She has been providing such kind of training at a very, very, very nominal cost. So the motive is to spread and give benefits to the majority and not to mint money from it. There are other ways where we all, I would say Raju sir, me or Sailina ma'am, can earn, and we are earning from our consultancy and training programs and all. So this is more of giving back to the society. Okay. With this, I would end over here. Thank you for hearing me and understanding me for almost 30 minutes or so. So this was to give you a flavor of how Jamovi is different from SPSS. There are certain features which are almost similar to both, but there are certain, I would say, positive aspects of Jamovi which you should understand before utilizing any particular software. So with this, uh, I would request Sailila ma'am to take it forward, and so that Raju sir and all can understand it better. Okay, before that, any questions anyone is having?
Yes, yes, sir. Any questions they can interact with you. You put it in the chat box. Or if you want, I will give permission to unmute yourself. You can unmute and speak. You can unmute yourself and ask any questions, or you can put it in the chat box. Whatever doubts you have regarding Jamovi. And
Or
open.
what you can do is, or what you
A very
can,
good
Raju
evening.
sir, yeah. Trilogy.
Sir, a very good evening, sir. I just wanted to know, like, I'm working in some reliability test and inferential test, sir. In Jamovi, I'm unable to find out how can we do the
Okay,
test.
that I think that aspect Raju sir will explain you how to incorporate the modules that you require,
Okay,
whether it
okay,
is survival and all other topics. Suppose it is sentiment analysis, you want go for text analytics and all. Uh, that Raju sir will explain how to add that module to it, so that you can take Jamovi for your particular precisely customize your analysis form. So Trilokji, I think that answer Raju sir will be. Raju sir is one of the expert in not only in R but all the statistical tools that is available in the market. So he will take this forward, and for next 30 minutes or so, you will get a touch and feel of it. So then
okay,
you
sir.
will be more thrilled with using Jamovi. Okay.
Sure,
Any other question?
sure, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Trilokji. Okay, ma'am. So no questions, or maybe they want to have. I think this question, how to refer the p-values and all, that will be taken care in the workshop that probably Salila ma'am is planning to arrange very soon.
15.
So, yeah, that all answers will be answering. Right now, questions related to Jamovi or the different thing between SPSS and Jamovi, we are here to answer.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much for clearing certain concepts about Jamovi. I think they know very well about Jamovi now. There is another question, I think, sir, in the last question. SPSS for social science. Check this question, sir.
More relevant to the social science. I think not only in social science, but I think Jamovi, there are modules which will be used for survival also, for sentiment also, for graphs also, and for all domains, whether it is a medical field, pharmaceutical field, or social sciences or psychology. There are different modules for it. You just have to understand which module will be applicable to you, which I think Raju sir will give you a brief idea. And then once we take a workshop in detail, for Jamovi, you will get the answer for all this.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Any other questions? Let us move for the another session by Dr. Raju, sir. No questions?
Yeah, I think Raju sir, they are eagerly waiting for Raju sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. And the workshop starts from 15th of April, same timing, 7 to 8:30 p.m. All the other details will be given in that WhatsApp. Thank you very much. Sir, thank you, sir. Paraksha. Nice.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank
presentation.
you, and see you all. Bye.
See you all in the workshop.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Now I welcome Dr. Raju Chaudhary, sir. Dr. R.D. Chaudhary, sir, is a seasoned associate professor of statistics at MG Science Institute, Ahmedabad, with about 27 years of academic experience. He holds a PhD in statistics from Sardar Patel University and has received prestigious awards such as Professor S.M. Shah Gold Medal and BPM Golden Jubilee Fund Gold Medal for his academic excellence. With more than 7 published research papers, he is proficient in statistical software, including R programming, SPSS, and Python. He has provided consultancy to implement Gandhinagar and co-founded certain platforms for statistics. Sarah will be giving it in the chat box, his platform links. So Dr. Chaudhary is a sought after expert conducting workshops and sessions nationwide and statistical data analysis using tools like MS Excel, SPSS, and R programming. Sarah has delivered over 50 sessions specifically on R programming. Sir, I welcome you, sir, for this session. Thank you, sir.
Good evening, all. Parag sir explained you about the difference between the Jamovi and SPSS. And as you know that Jamovi is an open source software. So the meaning of open source is anyone can use it, anyone can contribute to that community, and that is easily available, readily available for all, right? And SPSS is a commercial software. So obviously commercial software, we need to pay money as per the requirement, as per the number of users. So obviously, generally nowadays, institutions are preferring open source software so that we can reduce the cost. So let me give you the introduction to Jamovi. Again, it is very interactive software as compared to SPSS. Parag already explained you some of the differences between the SPSS and the Jamovi. But let us see how Jamovi looks like. It is very easy to download the Jamovi. Just if you type in the Google Jamovi download, so automatically your first link will be jamovi.org. And in that case, so there are two ways to use Jamovi. One is if you want to install Jamovi on your desktop or laptop, you can install that, and then you can use all the statistical methods available in Jamovi, right? This is one way. Another way is if you don't want to install and still you want to use Jamovi, so there is a cloud-based Jamovi platform, right? So no need to install Jamovi. So just create an account and directly you can open on the browser and you can work on it and you can store and carry out the analysis and all these things, right? So let me share you my screen about the today's presentation. So just give me some time. Okay. Okay, so now is it visible? I think it's visible to all. Okay, so what is a Jamovi? So it is a third generation statistical spreadsheet, right? This is just an overview, right? So statistical spreadsheet, all of you are aware about the Excel. So it looks like Excel, but apart from Excel, there are some additional facilities. Directly we get the analysis. We can perform the analysis and we get the analysis in the output window, in the side-by-side window, right? It is an open source statistical platform. Actually, the base for the Jamovi, it is created using R programming language. The backend is R. So whatever the analysis we are performing, that is carried out in R programming. No need to write any single line of R code. It is used in the backend. So it is built on the top of R programming language, alternative to commercial software. And the interesting feature is it is available for almost all platforms. If you are using Windows, if you are using Mac, if you are using Linux or Chrome OS, so for every operating system, Jamovi is available, right? So this is how we can install. Go to the jamovi.org, and if you want cloud version, just click on this part. If you want desktop version, just click on this and follow the steps. So you can download this, right? And then follow the instruction. It is very easy to install, right? So just double click on the downloaded file and follow the instructions. Automatically Jamovi will be installed, right? And once you install the Jamovi, and when you open Jamovi from start program option, right? So it looks like this. So this is the view of the Jamovi, right? So here to the left hand side, we can see the spreadsheet like structure. To the right hand side, we can see the result output. Okay, so there are two parts of a entire screen. One is a spreadsheet where you have to enter the data, where you have to import the data, and the second part to the right hand side, we have the output, that is the result output. Okay, so again, in SPSS or in any statistical software, generally we have columns are the variables and rows are the observations. So here also we have column. By default, when you open Jamovi, by default, it shows three variables, A, B, and C. If you want to add more, you can add very easily. Top of that, we have the ribbon. So just like Microsoft Excel or Word, so we have the ribbon. On the ribbon, we have different tabs, like variables tab is there, data tab is there, analysis tab is there, and edit tab is there, right? So in my case, you can see some number of additional modules I have used, right? By default, we have only exploration, we have t-test, we have ANOVA, and we have some regression. Okay, so there are some limited menus available for the base installation, but later on you can install some additional module. It is very easy to install the additional module, right? And this is about the navigation bar. So look at this. So we have, this is the menu. These three lines is the menu. Then we have the tabs, variable, data tab, analysis tab, edit tab, right? We have the options. So these are the options available. So let me show you that. Okay, so these are the options available. Okay, and this is the ribbon where you can see different options, right? So these are the menus, right? Graphic user interface, right? So it is very easy to navigate. It is very easy to navigate through the menu, right? And if you click on this menu, you can see the additional options, right? So these are the additional options. You can create a new file, you can open existing file, you can import the file, you can save as, export, and whatever the recent file we have used, right? So all these options are available, right? So when you click on the open menu, so there are two ways. Some data sets are built-in data sets. That means they came with the Jamovi. Some are in your desktop, right? So when you select this PC, so you can see here, there are different options available. You can import the CSV file. You can import the text file, Excel file, JSON file, SPSS file, R data file, SAS file. So any software data file can be imported to, it can be imported to the Jamovi, right? So you can import any software data file. It is very easy, right? And then we have a data library. That data library is the data which comes with different modules along with the Jamovi installation. That is known as a built-in data set, right? So these data sets are just for the practice purpose, okay? Then in the variable tab, so as compared to SPSS, it is very easy to add the data labels, insert the variable, append the variable, right? So delete the variable. So everything is there, right? So you can edit, you can compute, you can transform, right? Because many times we need to transform the data. Suppose I have the data about height and I want to transform it to the logarithm of the height. So very quickly you can transform that variable, right? So that is very easy. Okay, then we have a filter options available, right? So you can transform, you can compute the variable from existing variable, you can compute new variable from the existing in the existing data, you can insert the data, you can append the data, right? So these are the options, right? So let me show you in a very quickly. Say for example, this is my Jamovi screen, right? And suppose I want to change the name of the variable. So as I told you, by default we have these three variable A, B, C, right? So just double click on this. So automatically we have the screen is divided, right? So here you can change the variable name, you can add the description, you can change the data types, whether you are using a nominal data, ordinal data, continuous data, or whether it is simply the identity, that means ID, whether it is ID or that. So that is available, right? Then again, in that case, we have in case of the data types, we have integer data, numeric, decimal data, text data, right? You can handle the missing values, right? So all these options are available, right? So just, and again, if you change the variable detail for the first variable to navigate to the next variable, just use the arrow key, right? So this is how you can navigate through different number of variables, right? And if you change the labels, say for example, here I am entering, say for example, gender, right? Then I can use the labels here, right? So just click on this add button and you can say 1, or say for example 0, then okay. So it will be added. Again add, say 1, okay, right? And here you can use the letter also. Say for example, male and female, right? So it is very easy to navigate or to change the value labels for the variables in Jamovi as compared to the SPSS, right? And once your purpose is served, then just click on this top hide menu. So automatically you can see it will be reflected here, right? So these are, and if you want to add variable, you can add the variable, new data variable, just double click on that, right? See, the new variable is added, right? Say for example, this C variable. So I am adding C variable as a socio-economical status. And obviously this is my ordinal variable. So I can select ordinal. As soon as I select ordinal, you can see the labels for the variables in the top of the window, right? So this is how, if you select, say for example, this D variable is, say for example, weight variable, and obviously weight is a scale variable, so I can select continuous, and once you click OK, now see, we have the nominal variable, we have the nominal variable, we have the what we call it as the ordinal variable, scale variable. So everything is very easy to navigate, right? Similarly, suppose I want to import the data. So just go to the menu, open, and you can select the data file using the browse option. Say for example, my data is, say for example, hard study Excel, right? This is my Excel data file. So when I open, automatically that data file will be imported to Jamovi, right? So you get the entire data file. So this is my data file. You can see when you double click on any of the variable tab, you can see, you can navigate to the variables. You can change the data types, right? You can change the data type. Say, for example, in our example, this socio-economical status is the ordinal variable, so change it. Educational level, that is also ordinal variable, so change it, right? This weight, so by default, it will take some uh, uh, measure type, right? So height is again, say, for example, height is a scale variable, right? So you can change that. And once it is changed, then your data will be in that particular format, right? So to show you that, let me open the Jamovi file, which I have prepared, right? So this is the Jamovi file. And in the Jamovi file, you can see all the variables are properly labeled, right? These are the value labels. You can change the value labels anytime. You can change the data types. You can add the description. So this is the description for that. So any times you can do this, right? So this is all about the analysis part of the Jamovi, right? That means data importing. Once you import the data, right? If you want to carry out certain analysis. So for example, if you go to the variable tab and suppose I want to filter the data. So just here you can add the options, right? So here you can add the options. Say for example, gender, right? You can add the option gender equal to male, and you can see the only male data, right? Out of that, you can see only the male data, right? So you can add the filter, you can edit, you can compute, you can transform, right? So everything is possible. Whatever there in Jamovi, in SPSS, same kind of analysis, same kind of data transformation is there. Only the difference is the user interface is easy as compared to SPSS, right? Now I want to show you the most important part, because within half an hour, it is difficult to cover all the parts, but I want to show you the most important aspect of the Jamovi, that is the dynamic output. As many of you know about SPSS, you have used SPSS, right? So when you open SPSS, we have one window, that is a data window, and output window appear, that means output appear in a separate window, right? So obviously you have to handle the two windows. Here everything will be stored in a same data file. Your data is there, your output is there in the same window. So this is how, look at this, this is my data and this is my output, right? And you can minimize this, you can maximize this as per your requirement. Just drag and drop, right? So you can minimize, maximize as per your requirement, right? Now in the analysis part, we have different options available, right? In SPSS, you have to go to the analysis, right? And in the analysis, we have different options available. So that means you have to navigate to the menu and sub menu, right? Here, everything is available in the form of ribbon. Say, for example, first part is the exploration. See, everything is available in this analysis tab, analysis button. Okay, so just first part is exploration, and these are the additional options, right? Say for example, I want descriptive statistics, I want scatter plot, Pareto chart, right? Summary of a continuous variable, summary of a categorical variable. Exactly same way, I have another option, the another tab, that is the t-test. That means I have different type of hypothesis testing for the normally distributed data, whether one sample t-test, pair t-test, or independent sample t-test, analysis of variance, all kind of analysis of variance can be performed in Jamovi, right? So whatever is possible in SPSS, that is also possible in Jamovi, but the user interface is easy and interactive, and it gives you the dynamic output, right? It gives you the dynamic output, right? So what is a dynamic output? So let me show you a very small example. Say for example, I want to explore the data and the descriptive part. So once you select the descriptive part, right? So you can see automatically. So actually everything is in the back tab, right? So behind this screen, we have the data, right? And this is the result, that is the output window, right? So when I select the weight variable, say for example, right? There are two ways to select the variable. One way is drag and drop, right? This is one way. Or another way is just select one or more variable and just click on this arrow. So once you select, automatically, see, these are the selected variable for which I want the descriptive summary, and you can see the entire summary table. Okay, you can see the entire summary table. How many observations are there? How many missing values are there? What is the mean for each of the variable? Another interesting thing is, if you want to change the layout of the table, so here you can change across the row. So you can see the output, right? See, this is the output, right? You can change the layout. Okay, so this is how we can get the descriptive summary. Okay, another important thing is, suppose apart from these statistical measures, I want to add some more statistical measure. So just click on the statistic tab, right? And you can see the additional options, right? If you want the quartiles, just click on the cut points and you can see Q1, Q2, Q3 for all the variables. Anytime if you want to remove the variable, so just suppose I don't want this age variable, so just remove, select the variable, right? Select the variable and drop to the box, and you can see your, that means the output is dynamic, and this is not the case in case of SPSS, right? Right, another important thing is, say for example, just focus on this value. So the average weight of the respondent is 64.22, right? But suppose later on I found that this second respondent's age, that is 60, which is wrongly entered, and this is, say for example, 78. So when I enter the data, you can see the mean and all the output will be changed automatically, right? So this is the beauty of the Jamovi, which is not possible in case of SPSS. If you change the data, you have to rerun the analysis in SPSS. Say for example, this 70, I'm changing this 70 to, say for example, 50. Now look at this. Currently my average is 64.4. So when I changing this value to 50, when I changing the value to, say for example, 50, so look at this, the values will be changed, right? So this is the beauty of Jamovi, right? And another thing, suppose I want to add the additional measures, so just click on the result output. Again your data input window will appear, right? And you can change different measures. Say for example, I want variance also, I want Shapiro-Wilk test result also. So look at this, everything will be added. Apart from this, if I want to plot the data parallelly, right? So this is not the case in case of SPSS. In case of SPSS, we have separate analysis for the descriptive summary, separate analysis for the data visualization, right? So whatever the data I have selected, right? So for example, I have selected weight, I have selected height, and for these two variable, I want to summarize the data numerically as well as graphically, right? Suppose I want to visualize the data using histogram. So when I click on the histogram, look at this, automatically you will get the histogram of weight and you will get the histogram of height. Okay, similarly, suppose I want to superimpose the histogram with the density plot, you can get the density plot also. Suppose I want box plot, right? So you can see for every selection the output will be changed. This is the box plot. Okay, see, look at this, this is the box plot of the height, this is the box plot of the weight, right? Suppose I want a violin plot, right? So again, I get the violin plot for weight, I get the violin plot for the height data, right? And suppose I want to check the normality of the data using a QQ plot. So when I select the QQ plot, right? So automatically you can see the output here, right? So look at this. This is the QQ plot for the first. This is the QQ plot for the second, right? So once you click on the output, automatically you can see the detail options available. right? You can see the detail options available, right? If you want only violin plot, if you want box plot with violin plot, right? So everything is possible, right? Now, apart from this, suppose I want to summarize weight according to gender and height according to gender, right? So in that case, what I can do, I can select the gender variable and drop it in a split by. Okay, drop it in a split by. Now, if you can see the summary statistics, right? So weight, male, female, there are 48 male, female, and 52 male, right? What is the average weight for female? What is the average weight for male? What is the average weight for female? Right? So you can see the summary statistics, right? So if you want to summarize weight according to gender and height according to gender, so you can select the summary statistics, right? So if you want to summarize weight according to gender and height according to gender, so you can select the summary statistics, right? So if you want to summarize weight according to gender and height according to gender, so you can select the summary statistics, right? So if you want to summarize
I think Sir lost connection. He'll be joining in few minutes. Sir will be joining in few minutes. Kindly wait. So we have our workshop on Jamovi from 15th April to 24th April. We have 8 working days. The other details will be shared in the WhatsApp. Kindly register for this. Sir has come. Okay. Sir. Sir.
sorry, madam.
Yes, sir.
There is a sudden fluctuation in the light. So because of that, there is a disconnection.
Okay.
So just give me 5 minutes and I'm closing.
Okay. Okay.
Huh. Just give me 5 minutes. So just I want to highlight some points. Let me share the screen. Sorry for the interruption. Okay. Now, see what I am discussing. That is about the interactive feature, right? So when I add split by variable, so automatically the entire output will be split. Okay. At the same time, when I change some plot, say for example, I want a box plot, right? So you will get a separate box plot, right? So look at the output here. You will get a separate box plot because I have selected descriptive summary of weight and height by gender, okay, by some categorical variable. So weight, comparative box plot of a weight for female and male appear in a separate way, right? So this is for the weight. Similarly, this is for the height. Okay, so this is how we can carry out the analysis. Not only that, you can add one more variable, right? You can add one more variable. Say, for example, we have a smoking status. So when I add the smoking status here, so further it will be splitted, right? The analysis will be splitted further, right? Say, for example, look at this. This is a mean weight of female who are non-smoker, mean weight of female who are a smoker, right? Similarly for male. So first column is a height, second column is weight, and then second column is a height, right? At the same time, we have a comparative plot. Okay, so this is how we can navigate. As compared to SPSS, it is very easy to handle. Another important thing is whatever the output we get, that output we can save as a PDF file. You can copy the table and paste it in Word, right? Or you can create a PDF file of this. Anytime you can copy and paste the entire output, right? Another important thing, I think in the last session, someone asked a question, right? So look at this. If you installed Jamovi, you can see, I think 1, 2, 3, 4 menus are there, right? 4 tabs are there for the analysis, right? So this factor analysis tab that I have added, right? Then we have a linear model tab, we have a JJ plot, we have power analysis, we have meta analysis, we have structural equation modeling, we have snow cluster, right? So there are some additional module. Okay, so to install some additional module, what we have to do? So here there is a plus sign to the extreme right. Okay, so just click on that and you can see the installation, right? So manage installed, right? So these are the installed uh, packages. Actually, these are the modules, right? Say for example, if you want to perform Kolmogorov-Smirnov test for normality, or Anderson-Darling test, or Bartlett test for homogeneity of the variances, if you want to perform ANCOVA, linear regression, one-way ANOVA, so just what we need to do, we need to install this. Okay, more test. So this is the name of the add-on module. Okay, and this is the name of, these are the name of the developer who develop that particular module and make it open in Jamovi. Say for example, structural equation modeling, right? So this is some add-on module, right? Then there are some add-on module available. So using, say for example, for the clinical analysis, so we have clinical pathological research. So that module is there, right? So almost everything is available in Jamovi, right? So just what we need to do, we need to explore that, right? We need to explore the software, right? Different modules, and then it can be used. But according to me, because I am using SPSS since from 20 years, right? And I am very much comfortable. Even I can write a SPSS coding also. I can create a script and carry out the entire analysis in one go instead of using click and go. So every time in SPSS, what happens? You have to click, select the menu, select the option, select the variable, and carry out the analysis. Suppose the same task I have to repeat for hundreds of variables. So instead of doing it 100 times, I can write a script, right? Syntax in SPSS, and just one click, and the entire analysis will be performed in one go. That is possible in SPSS, right? Same kind we can do in Jamovi also, right? But in SPSS, once you create the analysis, whatever the output we have, if there are certain changes in the data, original data, then you have to remove the analysis and you have to rerun the analysis, which is not the case in Jamovi. Your entire output will be a dynamic output, right? You can see here, once you change the data, right? Say for example, I am removing this gender, and automatically my analysis will be for the descriptive summary for weight and height depending upon the smoking status, right? And accordingly we have the charts, right? So this is how we can perform different kinds of analysis. We have the t-test. Say for example, we have a one sample t-test, right? Another beauty in SPSS, if you want to perform parametric test, non-parametric test, we have a separate options, right? In case of Jamovi, if you want to perform t-test, right? So look at this. Along with this, we have the non-parametric test also, right? So here we can perform the non-parametric test also, right? So when I select, say for example, weight variable, right? So you will get the output, right? You can select the hypothesis, whether it is two-sided, one-sided, right? At the same time, if you want to perform the non-parametric test, if the normality is not satisfied, you can select the Wilcoxon rank test. You can select the descriptive plot. we can check the normality of the data, you can check the QQ plot. So everything is available in one go. Okay, so this is not the case in case of the SPSS. Okay, so this is what I have to share with you, and I hope you will love using Jamovi. Actually, I am very much fan of Jamovi because it gives me too much flexibility in analyzing the data. And actually, I love programming. So I am expert in R programming, and Jamovi is based on R. So whatever the analysis is carried out in the backend, Jamovi is using R. Okay. So actually, those users who are not comfortable with coding, for them, Jamovi gives you the flavor of R analysis. Okay, because for programming you need to understand the syntax, and you have to remember the syntax, you have to write the entire code, right? And for there are some users, they don't know programming, like the user interface directly, that means just GUI based. So for them, Jamovi is a blessing, right? It gives you the flavor of R output, right? And it gives you the flavor of GUI based analysis. Okay, so we will discuss, definitely we will discuss all types of analysis in the uh, what we call it as in the coming workshop, because within 30 minutes or within 1 hour it is not possible to cover all types of statistical analysis. And you are also aware, because statistic is not 2 3 techniques, there are many techniques. So we will discuss factor analysis in workshop also. It is very easy to carry out the factor analysis as compared to SPSS and as compared to any other software, right? Just what we need to understand, your data must be appropriately labeled as per the requirement of the Jamovi. In SPSS also, there is a very good quote, or what we call it as a saying: garbage in, garbage out. Right? If you give anything to the computer, it gives you something, but that something is useful or not, it depends upon what you have given as an input. Okay, so selection is obviously important. Your data must be in the suitable format. Okay, so uh, uh, we will discuss that. So if you have any questions related to today's session, definitely I will answer. And it is about the analysis. Okay, so analysis of any kind, say for example, factor analysis, structural equation, hypothesis testing, logistic regression. So as far as my knowledge is concerned, everything is possible in Jamovi. Only the thing is, it is not possible to cover in half hour or 1 hour. Okay, so definitely we will discuss. There are many resources available. There are many videos available, right? But obviously, videos are just like that means I believe in hands-on, right? Hands-on means someone is explaining and you are doing it. So that gives you the hands-on practice. Okay. So obviously, there are other books also, right? So just Google it. So see, nowadays it is very easy. Earlier, you have to go to the library. Nowadays, just Google any book related to Jamovi, so you will get something. And there are open source resources also, right? I'm not talking about the paid resources. There are open source resources also. There are open source tutorials also, right? But we will see, we will arrange workshop. Madam will arrange a workshop and we will discuss in detail as per your requirement, right? I hope you will enjoy the session and you love Jamovi and the statistical analysis. That's it from my side.
Sir, one question,
Madam?
sir. Whether we can use Jamovi from our mobile? Is it possible? Jamovi from our
I think for mobile it is not possible, but you can use it on the cloud, right? If you on the Google Chrome,
cloud.
if you open Jamovi Cloud, I think it is possible, because for the there is no I think there is no Android based app for Jamovi, okay,
Okay.
or iPhone based app for Jamovi, but we can use on the cloud.
Yes, we can log in into the mail or into the site.
Once you create your account, without installing Jamovi, you can use it on the cloud also. On the
Yes.
first page itself, it shows cloud based or desktop based, and it is
Okay.
open source, right? So anytime you can use it.
Okay. Any questions, please? You can unmute yourself and you can ask. Any questions? You
Thank
can
you,
unmute
Mosmi
yourself.
Kumari.
And
Thank you, Aparajita, Anand. Thank you all for your feedback. If you have any question, please feel free.
before
Thank
that,
you very much, sir. It was very useful session, and I would like to have this continue. Thank you very much,
Thank you, sir.
Raju sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
before I would
Thank you
provide
very much,
any
sir. It was very nice class, sir,
Yes.
and very informative.
Thank you,
also.
sir. Thank you, Yadav, sir.
So, I would like to inform you that we have our workshop on Jamovi from 15th April to 24th April. 8 working days we have. So kindly note this point, and the other details will be updated in the WhatsApp. So this is to inform that we have a workshop from 15th April to 24th April, 8 working days. We can learn Jamovi very easily. Okay, so feedback now I have posted in the chat box.
Okay, thank you.
One
So
minute.
we'll take a leave, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yes, sir, 1 minute, sir. I'll conclude it.
Okay.
So Jamovi boasts a growing user base worldwide. Actually, Jamovi is getting importance. It boasts growing user base worldwide thanks to its accessibility, versatility, and active community support. Users from diverse fields such as academia, research, business, and education benefit from its intuitive interface and powerful statistical tool. It is as Sir told, it is a user-friendly statistical software ideal for beginners and professional alike. So as mentioned by our resource person, it is user-friendly statistical software. With its open source nature and active community, Jamovi ensures continuous improvement and support for users worldwide. So you kindly make use of this opportunity. And now I like to thank our resource person for making this Jamovi very easy. This webinar actually demonstrated commendable efforts in simplifying the intricacies of Jamovi, making it accessible to all. The presentation was well structured, effectively breaking down complex concepts into digestible chunks. The engaged audience and technical delivery was smooth, ensuring a seamless experience for participants. Overall, our Paraksha sir and Chaudhary sir succeeded in their goal of making Jamovi approachable, leaving attendees equipped and empowered to utilize the software confidently in their endeavors. Thank you very much, sir, for both of you. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you all, and see you in the workshop. Bye.
Yes,
Thank you.
sir.
Thank you.
Okay, bye. Bye. Take care.
Thank you very much, sir. We will meet on 15th. Thank you. So feedback link is available in the chat box. Please fill it up. Thank you all for your participation. Those who would like to register for the workshop, you please see the details that will be provided in the WhatsApp. Thank you so much.